vloggers, so we're in my restroom here today, and we're in here because I'm going to show you how it is I apply my Kett Hydro Foundation with an airbrush machine, with an air gun. So I'm super excited to be making this video because I've been in love with this foundation for over a year now, and I used to apply it with the stippling brush, which gives you a great finish. So if you don't own an airbrush system, then a link for that will be down below in case you want to know how it is I do it. But yeah, so this video will show you how it is I do it with an actual air gun. So I'm super excited. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. The first part is where I show you how it is I set everything up, and I also show you what was included in my kit when I first bought it. So if you haven't already checked that out, a link for that will be down below. And in this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how it is I apply the makeup, but how it is I prep my skin for it as well. So I'll go into that in a little while, but as for applying the actual makeup, I'm going to go ahead and show you how it is I apply my base, how I highlight, how I contour, and how it is I apply blush as well. So I really hope you guys enjoy that. And then part 3 will show you how it is I clean everything up, because cleaning is super important. Otherwise, things can get clogged and then they won't work the way they're supposed to, and then you have to buy replacement parts and you don't want to spend money that you shouldn't be spending, you know. So it's very important that you clean it the right way. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is moisturize my face. I'm going to go ahead and use this, which is by Boots. It's the Expert Shine Control Lotion. I really like this stuff. It keeps me matte throughout the day because I do tend to get oily around my T-zone. And the reason I'm using this though is because it's water-based, and the Hydro Foundation is water-based as well. So you want to make sure that if you're using, say, an oil-based foundation, for example, you want to make sure that your moisturizer is oil-based as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a pump of this, which will be enough for my entire face and neck as well. So just go ahead and squirt out a pump. I'm just going to go ahead and just place it all over my face, my lips too, down my neck. Right, now that that's done, I'm also going to take some lip balm for my lips. So I'm going to be using this. It's by Dermstore. It's a lip quench. This stuff smells amazing, and it just, I guess, tastes good too. And then it also is very moisturizing. It's very thick, which I like. Alright, so now we're actually ready to begin airbrushing, I guess. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you how it is you, I guess, pick someone's skin color, how it is I choose what I'm going to use. And yeah, so my kit came with these 2 little bags here that both contain different foundations. So the first one here are the ruby based ones, and so these are basically for people who have reddish undertones. So here we have R1, R3, R5, R7, and R9, and these I actually haven't been able to use much at all because most of the people that I do makeup for, or even on myself, usually fall into these colors here. These are the olive based ones. So these are for people who have yellowish undertones. This is 01, 03, 05, 07, and 09, and both are super easy to blend, to mix, and to customize someone's right shade. But luckily for me, I do use 05 on its own. This happens to be the perfect color for me, so this is what I'm going to go ahead and use for my base all over color. And then for my highlighting, I'm going to go ahead and use 03, and then for contouring, I'm going to go ahead and use 05. So I'm just using the middle shades here. I really hope the camera picks up the differences, just because sometimes my camera doesn't pick up the brightness of colors very well. So I really hope it comes out fine. But yeah, so I guess this is what my skin looks like before we start actually applying any makeup on. Right now, as you just saw, we do have some moisturizer on. I do have some lip balm on, and on my eyebrows I do have some of Max Espresso because that's usually what I use to fill in my eyebrows. But other than that, we have no makeup on. My hair is pulled back into French braids so that it's not in the way, and so that you can really see what it is I'm doing, and so you can see how easily it blends into my skin. We won't end with like, we won't have those like harsh lines and stuff or anything like that. So yeah, I guess let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my compressor, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so the compressor is on, and then this is the gun itself here. Just want to talk about a few little things before we get started. So this is where the product would go in, where your foundation would go in, and it also comes with this nice little cap here, and this is great because it keeps it dust free when you're not using it, and it also keeps the foundation from spilling out when you are using it, I guess. So if you're using a lot of amount of foundation, it can kind of spill out when you're like moving it around and stuff, or if you're not paying attention. So this can be very handy, but because we're just going to be using a very small amount of foundation, I don't really worry about that, and it just can become more of a hassle, you know, taking it off, putting it back on, so we're not going to be using that. The next thing here is this little lever here. When you push down, you get air coming out but no product. But if you want product to start coming out, you need to pull back on the lever itself. The more you pull back, the more product that's going to come out, and it all comes out through this little nozzle here, and it's crazy how it works. It has like a long needle that goes across the entire thing, and when you pull back, the needle pulls back, and that's what lets the product come out. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but the little needle pulls back. It's really cool. I really like it. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take 05, which is the shade that I use for my entire face and maybe even down my neck. It's my base color, I guess, and I'm gonna take about maybe 6 or 7 drops of this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and one of them wants to kind of come down, so maybe 6.5. So that's in there now, as you can see, and like I mentioned before, pressing it down will just get air out, no actual foundation coming out yet. And I kind of like to spread on the person's face first, just so that they can get used to what this is going to feel like, because a lot of people are kind of scared, or they've never had their makeup airbrushed before, so it's a little different, you know. So once you're finally ready to start airbrushing, you want to make sure that the gun itself is about a gun's length away, about maybe 6 inches away, and this is going to give you a nice even just layer, I guess. And another thing that I guess, I keep saying I guess, I always say I guess so much, I'm so sorry guys, I must get annoyed. But anyway, another thing that you might want to do is, instead of going in circular motions like a lot of people tell you to with Kett, I've watched videos on, and I've tried it out myself. I found that just going in sweeping motions gives you much better coverage and a much better end result, I guess. So and there I go saying I guess again. So anyway, let's get started. So I like to start on my forehead and work my way down, and then eventually get down to my neck. So let's get started. I don't know if you guys were able to pick that up, but when we still have product in here, we get a solid, you know, and as soon as we run out of product, we hear more of a, you know, it's trying to pull out product, but there's nothing left to pull, so we get a weird sound that sounds like that, and that kind of just lets you know that we're out of product. I'll go ahead and demonstrate it right now, just so you know what I'm talking about. Do you hear it? It's like, yeah, it's just weird. So that's when you know you're out of product. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to our highlight. So we're going to be using shade 03, and we're just going to go ahead and use maybe 2 or 3 drops of this. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the center parts of my face, this top part of my cheekbones, and that's basically it, just the center of my face and that part there. But when you put product in there, you'll see that there's a little bit left of shade 05 in here, so what you want to do is mix the two. So in order to mix, you're going to put your finger in front here, you're going to press down and then pull back a little bit. That's going to create little bubbles on the inside, and that's going to mix the two foundations together. Alright, so I don't know if you're able to see that, but they're nice and mixed now. So now we're ready to apply the foundation once again. And we're out of product. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. I can see it in the mirror. I definitely have some parts that are a bit more highlighted, but everything just blends in nicely, so it's not like super dramatic or anything like that. And it also gave me a bit more coverage. I should have, well, I guess you can apply some concealer before you do this in specific areas such as like underneath your eyes and stuff, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you the effect that the airbrush gives my skin on its own, so I didn't do that, but it definitely did cover up some of the darkness that I have underneath my eyes, so that's really good. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to contouring. So I'm going to go ahead and take shade 07, so it's a bit darker, definitely, and I'm going to go ahead and use maybe 3 drops of this as well. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so once again we're going to go ahead and mix the 2 foundations in here together. Once again by creating little bubbles on the inside. And now I'm just going to go ahead and hit the perimeter of my face and then the hollows of my cheekbones as well. And then I might go down to hit my neck as well. Once again, so this is basically it for contouring and highlighting. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I definitely do have a bit of contouring going on. It's not super dramatic, which is the way I like to wear it. So this is what I'm gonna be wearing tonight. So I don't want to go too crazy, but I really hope the camera picks it up. So let me just do a close-up now of what my foundation looks like. Like I don't know, actually I didn't mention before, but this foundation gives a very natural, even look, I guess, and it's great for people who want nice coverage but still want their skin to be able to shine through a bit. So it's perfect for brides. So those people who have naturally good skin already, you might not be able to see a huge improvement, but people who have problem areas definitely will see a huge improvement. In case you wanted to work on like maybe concealing a blemish or anything like that, instead of being so far away and pulling back a lot, what you can do is get a little closer, pull back a little. You don't want to pull back too much, otherwise you're just gonna get a spot of a lot of color. But what you can do is just start slowly pulling back a bit, and that'll give you more of a concentrated foundation thing on that actual blemish, and it will cover it up nicely. And you could do the same thing with, like, I guess your under eyes and stuff, but mine tend to crease very easily, so I tend not to want to put too much product underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna leave it like this. So the next step would be to apply some blush. So the blush I'm gonna go ahead and use is one by Kett also, and it's in the color Love, and I really like this color. It's so nice. Actually it's the only one I own, so I don't have much to compare with, but I use it on everyone and it's worked just beautifully on everyone that I've tried it on. So this is it right here, and like I said, it's in the color Love, and it's worked great on people who are really light, that I've done makeup on, people who are darker, and people who are around my skin color as well. So we're gonna go ahead and use this, and I don't think it's coming up super bright on camera, but this stuff is really bright, and if you really wanted to, you could come out with like super bright, super pink cheeks, but I usually don't like to go that bright, so I won't be doing that today. But I'm gonna go ahead and use about maybe 2 drops of this. And because we do have a bit of other foundation left in here, we're going to go ahead and mix the 2 together, and that's also going to give us more of a toned down color on our actual face. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the 2 together just as we were doing before. Alright, and now we're ready to apply it. So I'm just going to apply it to this area here. I don't want anything too crazy, so I'm not going to pull back as much. See that? Just to make sure they're somewhat even. Darker just because I wasn't seeing it on the viewfinder, but I hope you guys can see it now. This is pretty bright actually. Well, not super crazy, but it's pretty bright. This one's a little brighter than this one, I think. Yeah. There we go. So that's basically it for our foundation. Next we're gonna go ahead and apply a setting powder. Kett actually sells one. They sell it in like a pressed form and also a loose form, but I don't own that. So what I'm going to be using today is one by e.l.f. Eyes, Lips, Face. It's their high definition powder. So let me go grab that real quick and I'll be right back. So here it is. It's by e.l.f. It's the high definition powder, and I've used this for about maybe 2-3 years now, and I really like it. I've never had a problem with it. just giving me a white cast or anything like that. So I really like this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and tap some into the actual thing in here. Take this brush, it's one of the Crown brushes, it's very fluffy and soft. I'm going to go ahead and just a tiny bit of product, top off the excess, and then just kind of sweep it along the foundation. And this isn't going to disturb the actual finish of the foundation, which is what we want, because that's kind of the whole point of using airbrush foundation, to give you that flawless look, you know, with the little dots, the little pixels or whatever. So we don't want to disturb that in any way. So we're just gonna just gently pat this and then just kind of spread it out. You want to go ahead and get your neck as well, because we did apply some product on here. And then, like I mentioned before, the under part of my eye tends to crease very easily, so I'm going to go ahead and get that real well as well. And my eyelids, so those don't crease bad. And that's it, we're basically done. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And subscribe so you don't miss out on part 3, which is going to be where I show you how it is you can clean up everything, because that's super important in order for your system to continue to work properly. So thank you so much for watching once again. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in my future videos. Bye guys.